First thing foremost, we'd like to thank everybody for attending the annual Detroit Mercy Basketball Media Day. Thank you all of the media and all the donors who came out today. Thank you everyone who's watching worldwide on ESPN3 as well as on our Facebook, UDM Titans. This is truly a special day. It just means that the season is just one step closer. We have 18 days to the first exhibition game for men's basketball when they host Wayne State in a charity basketball game to help Detroit Public Schools K through 5. That's going to be a great event here to really start the Bakari Alexander era. On November 11th, both men's and women's basketball officially open up the 2016-17 season. Excitement on both sides. The women's team is going to be one of the favorites to win the Horizon League. Obviously, the excitement on the men's team with Bakari Alexander coming back to his alma mater. So we're getting ready for a great season here. And the first thing first to start off this press conference, we are going to talk to Cam Fuller from the Horizon League, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the Horizon League, about Motor City Madness, and what it means this year.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here at Detroit Mercy for the official kickoff of the men's and women's basketball season. Just want to take a quick moment to take a look back at the Horizon League men's and women's basketball season last year. Starting on the women's side, the league was incredibly competitive last year with 7 of the 10 teams finishing above 500. I'm sure Coach will mention that in his remarks in his first year leading the women. And the league was 1 year removed from 4 teams making the NCAA or the WNIT. So Coach Scott's team plays a really exciting brand of basketball. I'm sure as many of you are aware, scores a lot of points, gets up and down the floor. And the team showed significant strides last year, which I think will be reflected in the preseason poll and really their expectations for the year, with much of the year playing shorthanded. So I think it's safe to say that observers of the league will be really excited to see what the women will accomplish this year. On the men's side, the regular season was very competitive, very exciting, as shown by the 9 games just down the road at the Little Caesars Horizon League Men's Basketball Championship this past year. To have Bakari Alexander back in the D for the 3rd time, first as a player, assistant coach, and now as a head coach. It's something you see like in a Disney production, but not necessarily in the Horizon League. So we're certainly excited to have Coach Alexander back in the Horizon League. I spent some time with Bakari last month, and I was really just impressed by his excitement, his attention to detail, and really just the excitement that he brings to a room. And I think there's no doubt that he's going to bring that excitement to the community and that excitement to his student athletes in the back of the room once they take the court. Just want to take a quick moment to share 2 really important partners we have at the Horizon League. The first of which is ESPN. As PJ said, this event is on ESPN3, and we're embarking on the 10th year of the Horizon League Network, which started on horizonleague.com and is now morphed into ESPN3. And this really commitment that our campuses have made. Last year we streamed over 600 events to ESPN3, which is really first in class, especially for a conference of our size. Truly speaks volumes to the commitment that our campuses have made, starting at the top with President Garibaldi and the group of presidents and chancellors that we have here in the Horizon League, our athletic directors, Robert Vowles, and our other 9 ADs, and then really the people at the ground floor, the sports information directors, the streaming coordinators. Those are the ones that really make sure that those events are on the air day in and day out. So a tip of the cap to those 4 groups as we really look for another successful year this year on ESPN3. And then our second partner that's really important for the league and the development of the league is Olympia Entertainment. And I'll turn it over to Rob Mattina here in a moment. But they have really helped develop the league starting last year in our first year of Motor City Madness. Olympia Entertainment really demonstrated their commitment to the league and their commitment to a first-class event for our key constituents, our student athletes, our coaches, our members of the media, our administrators, our fans. And we're really excited this year. For the first time since 1992, we will have both the men and the women competing in the same venue at the same time for a shot at the NCAA tournament. So in just 142 days, Motor City Madness will take the floor at Joe Louis Arena for one final time before moving into Little Caesars Arena in 2018. Fans can purchase tickets starting December 29th at motorcitymadness.horizonleague.com. So with that, I look forward to seeing many of you throughout the season and ultimately at Joe Louis Arena March 3rd through the 7th. I want to thank you for your time today and thank Detroit for putting on this outstanding event. So with that, I'll turn it over to Rob Mattina from Olympia Entertainment.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks for having me today. As you know, last year we entered into an agreement with the Horizon League. We're sitting around with Tom Wilson, John Krzyzewski, and we have two outstanding basketball program mid-majors in our backyard. We're entering into the final season at Joe Louis Arena. I believe the first event we had at Joe Louis was Detroit Mercy and University of Michigan. We just thought, what a great idea to help support two, really good basketball programs. So we entered into a 5-year agreement to hold the championships at Joe Louis Arena the first 2 years, and then for the next 3 years into Little Caesars Arena. The first year was fantastic. It was all about the student athletes and building brand awareness for Motor City Madness and Little Caesars supporting us. And as we continue to move forward, we want to see the crowds grow. We're going to get more active in the community with community relations. We want to get the coaches more media airtime. My whole marketing team at the Red Wings and Olympia, we've partnered with each university where we have brand ambassadors that are working with students in the PR departments and the marketing departments on each campus, developing marketing programs to drive students and alumni here to Detroit. And, the Ilitch family is just committed to downtown Detroit, bringing in more visitors, more guests, really showcasing where the city's going. We just thought it was a great idea, and we're extremely happy. Like I said, two great basketball programs historically, and we're going to continue to build this brand. And hopefully it lasts a hell of a lot more than 5 years. Hopefully it can be 5, 10, 15, 20, and we get the national exposure that we really deserve here in Detroit. It's a great basketball town. It's a great sports town. I've lived in a number of major cities, and I can't tell you how fantastic this city is in supporting all the college and professional sports programs that we have. Any questions? Cam did a great job letting us know when tickets go on sale, December 29th. We're very happy to have the women's participating this year. It was great starting out with the men's, but obviously we'll have a number of games and just great basketball down at Joe Louis Arena. We have a number of great initiatives to go on to celebrate the final season, and then we'll kick it off next year in Little Caesars again as well. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Great. It's good having everybody here today to kick off the 2016-17 men's women's basketball season. Before I get started, though, I want to introduce my boss, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, president of the university. He's a big supporter of what goes on in this building, of all 19 sports, and just to show you, he was not supposed to be here today because he had some other commitments, but he found a little bit of a gap in his schedule to walk over and be with us. So we appreciate him being here, and shows you what type of leadership that we have. Today we've got two coaches up here who are outstanding. We've got our first-year coach in Bakari Alexander, and that's exciting for him to come back and to his school and be here. And then we've got a second-year coach in Bernard Scott, who last year, in a gritty and determined way, got through a season that was really unexpected. So their expectations have risen up this year. So when they get up here and speak today, there'll be some exciting things going on. But as you see on the table, we've got our new logo and mark. So we've got a new brand, a new logo, and a new brand line. And that's all come together over the last year and a half through Dr. Garibaldi's leadership. So what you see right now, and just hold the hat up, you'll see the prominent D and then the M, one for Detroit and one for Mercy. So both schools are involved, and so what this is really doing right now is it's us coming together as one, and it shows what the two schools mean. And our new brand line is Build a Boundless Future. And so with this new mark, this new logo, we're excited about moving forward and helping with our identity. So please, as you see that coming out more and more this year, you'll see more things coming out about our brand and about our name. I believe tickets are on sale already for the tournament, right? Correct? No, 29th coming up. So I'll talk about that in a minute. Men's and women's basketball tickets for us are on sale. Single game and season tickets are on sale. You can call 313-993-1700. Order those tickets right now, or go online to DetroitTitans.com, or just call Justin Hairston here in our office. Motor City Madness is March 3rd through 7th at the Joe, and this is the last year of the Joe, so let's get on down there and do that. Those tickets do go on sale December 29th. Phone number for that one is 313-471-7575. I'm like a walking ad up here today. So, please, last year, our first experience was tremendous, and what I saw was so many people who were wearing Detroit gear that I hadn't seen come over to Callahan Hall. So that was exciting for us, and I think that hopefully with us in Oakland being in the mix, the tournament will be more supported as we go forward. With what's happening here within the athletic department, our fundraising and business plan are moving forward. Just to give you some examples of the progress that we've made over the last year. For fiscal year 2016, our athletic fundraising gifts increased 24% over 2015. Athletic donors increased by 15% over 2015. And then we've had a number of donors giving 10,000 or more gifts, and that's increased by 85%. So we're doing something right here within this athletic department, within our sports programs, within the great coaches that we have in Coach Scott and Coach Alexander. On October 6th last week, we were actually able to dedicate our brand new academic center. It's called the Thomas and R.V. McNamara Family Student Athlete Center. And inside it is the Eli Holman Study Hall. So the McNamara family and the Holman family were the major contributors to the academic center, but we had over 27 donors who contributed to the construction of the academic center. So before you leave today, if you want to go by and see it, it's brand new, starting out, so we'd like to show that to you if you have some time. Hoop Night in the D is October 19th, and that's where we actually get things kind of started off. The showcase for the men's and women's basketball and showing what they can do. It starts at 7 p.m. The doors open at 6, so please come on by. It's free for the fans. We'll have games, music, and tailgating outside in the parking lot. So that's October 19th, Hoop Night in the D. Our first round ball luncheon is Wednesday, November 9th, here in Callahan Hall. I think actually in this room, Ed and Brooks room, so put that on your calendar. I want to thank 910 AM and WADL for coming out today. They are our partners on the radio and television side. Cliff Russell will be the voice of the Titans this year. We will have more than 20 men's and women's basketball games televised this year on WADL, and all men's basketball games will be broadcast on 910 AM. So thank you so much for WADL and 910 AM coming out. Bakari Alexander. So this is the actual start of his new era, and it starts October 29th, and it's our exhibition game against Wayne State. We haven't played Wayne State in 7 years, right? So it's exciting for the university and for the school. It is, all the proceeds go back to the Detroit public school system, well, specifically Detroit Public School Community District. And this is called the City College Series. We hope to play this every year from now on out. But every ticket that's sold, and the game is just $2, every ticket that's sold is going to be going back to the public school system, and it's going to be matched by Michigan First Credit Union, which is one of our big partners and sponsors. And the Detroit Sports Commission is also one of the sponsors of the game. So please come on out. We hope to fill it up, and that is October 29th against Wayne State. Good cause, giving back to the community. Women's Basketball Field Day. Field Trip Day is November 30th. Please put that on your calendar. Last year we had over 3,000 young people come in here, elementary school age kids come in here and watch the game, so it was exciting. We plan to have as many, or if not more, this year. So November 30th, Women's Basketball Field Trip Day. Please put that on your calendar. Men's Basketball 40-year reunion of the Sweet 16 team is going to happen on February 10th when we play Oakland. Also that night, we will retire Terry Durod's number 42. So please come on out for that game. That's February 10th. Okay, all right. Now, I mean, to the real heart of the matter, we've got two two coaches here that are working extremely hard. And if anybody's been in any of the open practices, it's been intense. It's been grueling. All the student athletes are working extremely hard to get prepared for the season that's coming up. And we've got two coaches who are different but similar. And different in that personality is different, the way they do things are different, the way they go about the game are different, but similar in that they got the same goal, and that is to cut down the nets at the end of the season. And so I've watched them. I try to sneak out to practice as much as I can to watch the teams, and they're doing an extremely outstanding job. And the first coach I'm going to bring up today is going to be Bernard Scott. If you know anything about Coach Scott, you know one thing is that he's gritty, he's determined. Last year he had 8 women playing on his team and was able to manage to get through the entire season with working through minutes and trying to manage time, academics, travel to bring the team out to a winning season, and 11-7 in conference play and 15-15 overall. So the expectations in his mind are up. He's going to make sure that they play hard this year. And so let's hear what Coach Scott has to say. Coach Scott.
All right, I can tell you that I feel a lot better this year than last year when I was up here thinking, okay, we got 8 young ladies. We got 4 that's never played a basketball game before. How are we going to win games? But this year we have 14 young ladies. We have the 8 that return, and we have 5 new players. And really excited because we return our first team all-conference player in Rosie Reynolds, who's, you know, it feels like she's been here 10 years. But this is her last year, and we expect for her to have a player of the year type of season. And we also returned 6th player of the year, Bree Cohen, who last year had an unbelievable season, increased her scoring about 12. Wow, we got the fly that's entertaining me too. Increased her scoring about 12 points a game from the previous year. And she's come back healthier, physically strong, and she's ready to go. We return our team MVP, Haley Ruskowski, who we call Miss Do It All because she does quite a bit for us. Looking forward to seeing her this year. She's shooting the ball very well in practice and just playing with more confidence than she did last year. And then we return the top 3-point shooter in the league, Nicole Urbanik, who hit 83 threes. And, you know, if you shoot the basketball, that's a lot of threes. So we're looking forward for her having another great year. But we brought in some players that are going to help us get to our goal, and our goal is to win the Horizon League championship. One of those players is Kelsey Mitchell, a grad transfer from Michigan, local young lady who's physically very strong and a very good finisher around the rim. Really looking forward to watching her and seeing her help us this year. Then we brought in a young lady named Anya from Toronto. Quick release on her jump shot, someone we think has a chance to be on the all-freshman team. Very talented, very smart, played for the Serbian national team for a couple of years. So she has the experience of big games. Then you want to bring in somebody with some energy, and we did that with Ashley Miller coming from Toledo. She's very energetic, very good athlete, and Coach T's working with her offensively, and she's doing a very good job. We had to go local, and we got Zoe Otis from Cass Tech, who's athletic, long, very good defender, playing very well. And then we went overseas and got a New Zealand point guard in Gracie Roberts, who can hit you before you even know you're open. She's a very good passer. But practice is going very well. We've been practicing for about a week and a couple of days. Ladies are working hard. It's very competitive. Where this year we're able to go up and down, full court. Last year we had to really manage our young ladies, only having 8. We could only practice for about an hour and a half at the most. But this year we're going about 2.5 hours, and the young ladies are competing. We have our first test this Sunday when we scrimmage at Central Michigan. Be a very good test for us. They're a very good team, so we'll get challenged early and see where we are as a team, come back to the drawing board and just see what things we need to improve on before the first game on November 11th at Delaware State. I said it last year and I said again, our non-conference schedule will always be tough because it's going to prepare us for the Horizon League conference. So we start off on the road, we go to Delaware State, and then we travel to East Carolina, who is going to be a good test for us. We also have Minnesota on the schedule, playing at Minnesota, and we could play at Toledo. So some good quality games in the non-conference to get us prepared for the conference, which Cam said is a very competitive conference. On every night you got to be prepared to compete. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to play fast. Last year we had 9 games where we scored over 80 points. We like to score the basketball. Out of those 9 games, we were 8-1. So this year we're looking to play even faster with us being so deep. So we're going to put up points. Where we had to get better at is defensively. You know, last year we were ranked 9th or 10th in almost every defensive category. So we've put a major focus on improving that. You know, at least being in the middle of the pack. Because if you want to be the best team in this league, yeah, you got to be able to score, but you also got to be able to get stops as well. So we've really concentrated on that. Our goal is very simple this year. Last year, with 8 young ladies, we finished 11-7 in the league. Up into the last week of the season, we were playing for 2nd place. And unfortunately, we ended up splitting the last 2 games, and we ended up finishing 4th. But it was the first winning season in the conference in 3 years. We finished 15-15 overall, which was the first winning record in 3 years. So we're looking to build off that. Robert is correct. Our expectations are high. You know, when I came here last year, I mentioned we want to be in the NCAA tournament. That hasn't changed. I think we have a team that is a postseason team. We're a veteran team. We have very good players. The players we brought in are very good and are going to help us. So we expect to be one of the top teams in the league. And we expect to be at the Joe for a long time, at least the 4 days that it's there. And plan on that last day. So appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you listening to me about our team. And we look forward to seeing you at the games. Thanks a lot. Oh. And next up is our head men's coach, Bakari Alexander.
I can't thank Bernard enough for such a enthusiastic, tone-setting depiction of his team. I've had the luxury of watching his teams practice, and they not only get after it, but I agree with you, Coach. I think you guys are going to be at that Joe for many days, and we'll be there supporting you every step of the way. Before I get into my remarks about Team 110, I'd like to echo some of the sentiments that Robert Viles had shared earlier about the unwavering support that our men's basketball program receives. And it starts at the top with Dr. Antoine Garibaldi and his leadership team on campus. They've done not only a magnificent job of supporting all of our student athletes, but in men's basketball in particular. I can't imagine how deep the commitment has been for our student athletes in so many different areas: academically, socially, residence life housing, academic support services, food in the cafeterias, things of that nature. I mean, it is a really exciting time for our university. And to, Robert Viles and his leadership team in athletics, they've done a tremendous job of not only prioritizing student athlete welfare, but with the addition of the McNamara Family Academic Center and the Eli Holman Study Hall. I think it gives us an opportunity not only to get guys to another level academically, but it also provides them with the support that they need so that well beyond their college years, they can enjoy a life well beyond sports when that time comes for it to end. I'm excited right now. This is the 167th day on the job, and as we talk about December 29th launching, Motor City Madness with our friends at Olympia Entertainment and our partners in the Horizon League, that our team right now is working extremely hard. It starts primarily with our seniors. We have 4 of them in the audience today in the back, and I'd like to always start by talking with them. All conference, caliber selection. Chris Jenkins is in the back. He's done a tremendous job. This is the 23rd week Chris and I have been together. He's not only gotten bigger and stronger in the weight room, he's been like an Iron Man for our team. Been able to participate not only in practices, he's a young man that'll earn 2 degrees with us, both in CIS, and in English, right, Chris? Correct me if I'm wrong. And so I'm really excited about the leadership that he's helped provide amongst our group of seniors, and I think this is going to be a tremendous year where Chris will exceed expectations. Gerard Williams has been another senior from Virginia that has not only been a pit bull on the basketball court for us, his game has improved tremendously under the tutelage of our coaching staff. Really excited about the energy that he brings to the table, the infectious energy that he brings throughout our new guys, younger juniors, all the way down to our freshmen, and he's going to be a tremendous asset to our team. Matt Grant, who has done a remarkable job of having a great presence, in our practices. His energy, his enthusiasm, but more importantly, his IQ has really made me sleep on a soft pillow at night with regards to his ability to get guys not only in the right spots, in the right places in our practices, but his athleticism and his game seems like it just continues to grow and grow and grow each and every week. And then Patrick Robinson, our preferred walk-on. Here's a guy that doesn't get tired, doesn't lose sprints, has a tremendous shooting ability beyond the 3, and he's just like an Energizer bunny. I mean, he just keeps going and going and going. And this Canadian import, is a guy that I think is going to be a spark plug off the bench for us this season at different points in time during the dog days of the season. And we are very excited about this group of 4 seniors who set the stage for us each and every day as we go into our practices. Now, we've had about 6 practices thus far, and practice number 7 starts tomorrow as we all return from fall break. And one of the things that I've enjoyed most about the practices is the investment in defense. As you can imagine, one of the things that I've been known for throughout my career is the emphasis on defense, because no matter what, defense and rebounding is what wins championships. And you have to make sure that the cornerstone of everything you do starts there. And our guys have not only bought into that idea, they've done a tremendous job of working diligently each day towards those goals, towards that framework, and it started with our seniors. Our junior class has done a particularly good job as well providing support to these seniors, and it starts with our stalwart inside and Jaleel Hogan. Jaleel Hogan has just returned to the team from a small minor injury over the summer, and I can't tell you how exciting it is to work with a player like that. He's probably a little undervalued if you look across the league in terms of his projections of the preseason. I think he's an all-conference caliber player. I think he'll demand not only double teams in the post, but he'll be a guy that will be even more formidable on the glass for us. He's done a tremendous job. We've added a couple other juniors from the community college ranks. One in DeShondre Black, All-American point guard, all-defensive selection. Here's a guy that had 200 assists, 100 turnovers at Schoolcraft College for a team that went to the national tournament at that level. And he's learning the game each and every day, growing both through the adversities, of this level, but also learning the expectations that we have for him quarterbacking the most important position on the floor, which is the point guard position. I'm excited to report that Isaiah Jones, our 6'11" kid from Mount San Jacinto, California, the shot blocker, is just a week away from returning to the team full tilt. He's excited. He's a kid that's a really good rim running athlete, shot blocker, alternate shots, things of that nature. He's done a fantastic job academically throughout the summer and early here in the semester. And we're just excited about the energy that he'll bring as he learns all the different nuances on becoming a really good player for our team. In that sophomore class, everything starts with those two holdovers that we enjoyed the previous year, Josh McFarley and Gerald Blackshear. I can't say enough about the 18 pounds of muscle that Gerald Blackshear has added to his frame. It's not only given him the opportunity to score the basketball and create leverage for himself and be more of a presence on the glass, but I've seen him sustain his energy levels for longer stretches of time during practices, and that's only going to bode well. Josh McFarley has been in and out due to a couple injuries that he's sustained, but we'll get him back soon enough. And if those of you who don't or aren't familiar with his game, early in the season last year and as the season waned on, Josh was one of those guys that could score in bunches and in a hurry, and probably similar to Jaleel is an all-conference caliber talent. Those guys are really, really good additions, you know, when we talk about the veteran core of our team. Aaron Foster Smith is another talent that needs to be mentioned, because here's a guy standing at 6'7.5", 6'8", that not only has an inside-out approach to his game, but he's a player that not only can stretch you to three, but he can put pressure on the rim via the drive, as well as get to the offensive glass. I think he'll be a really good player for us in transition, being able to get out and run as we push the ball to score and explore, things of that nature as well. Another sophomore that's sitting out for us that have shown some really good leadership for us, even though he has to sit out for academic year of residence, is Cam Chapman. Cam Chapman is a transfer from the University of Michigan. He's a highly heralded player who has enjoyed all of the different accolades that you can think of coming out of high school, played 2 years in the Big Ten Conference, and has not only added to the culture, you know, of our program, but he's also been able to share his work ethic with his teammates coming from that level with the high aspirations that he has that has helped our team along the way. Now, we've had some additions and some new faces, you know, similar to what Coach Scott had mentioned about being low on numbers with his team. We had inherited a situation that was similar in the initial stages of the program, where we had to build the roster up in upwards of 16 players. We supplemented that by bringing in a couple JUCO transfers that I've mentioned already, but we also brought in some true freshmen. One of the local talents that was in the running for Mr. Basketball that has shown a tremendous performance in early practices is that of Corey Allen. Corey Allen's from Ypsilanti High School. He's a young player that has been getting reps at multiple positions, both the point guard and the off guard positions. We feel very confident that he'll be able to not only contribute right away as a freshman, but he has a maturity about himself that does not speak to that of a freshman. And so we're very excited about where he's going in that direction. In addition to him in the freshman class, we have Malik Eichler. Malik Eichler is the German giant. Here's a 7'1.5" player who's not only learning the physicality of the game because he's a foreigner. They tend to like to play and float on the perimeter. What we're trying to do is find that balance in his game and get him to understand the small ideology that size matters the closer you are to the basket. So again, Malik has done a tremendous job of not only getting stronger, gaining 5 to 7 pounds in the weight room for us, but now he's starting to mix it up. He's starting to get traffic rebounds without losing them. And that development and the things that are required of his position is something that he has brought to the table each and every game. And so we're excited about that. We have a couple other, young people that are really exciting right now. And the other one is of a foreign influence as well, and that's Cole Long. Cole Long is a 6'8" sharpshooter from Newfoundland, Canada, by way of Orangeville Prep in Toronto. And he's been so steady. I was talking with Jermaine Jackson, our lead assistant, yesterday about our roster, and one of the things that we agreed on is that Cole is one of those guys that doesn't get rattled. I mean, from start to finish, this young man through the last, 15, 16 weeks or so has just been steady in his approach, like with any freshman, he's learning the rigors, the intensity, how to sustain energy levels, over a period of a 2.5 to 3 hour practice, but no complaints, always on time, high academic performer, shot maker, which will not only make us that much more dangerous offensively to add to our offensive prowess from the previous year, but that's another guy that we can rely upon within our rotation, as we look to rotate maybe in upwards of 10 guys this year. So Cole Long has been terrific. We had some preferred walk-ons as well. One that stands out right now in the early stages is that of Ed Carter, a local product. Ed Carter III is a young man that not only plays the combo guard position, but he's a guy that isn't short on confidence. If you ever meet Ed, and you will during the media day today, he's a very bubbly personality, very articulate. But the thing that I enjoy most about Ed is he's an energy giver. You have two types of players out there, energy givers and energy drainers, and he's constantly bringing energy. I know when we show up to practice as a coaching staff, there's going to always be something positive that Ed's going to bring to the table that brings a smile to everybody's face, and those are the type of people that you want in your locker room each and every day. A couple other people that come to mind, just to make sure I got everybody, here. I want to make sure that outside of our preferred walk-ons and our transfers, that I highlight one other aspect with regards to our roster. Great coaches only become great because they have really excellent assistant coaches. Jermaine Jackson, who's in the back of the room, has not only been a rock for our staff, he's also provided leadership to our fellow assistant coaches as it relates to on-the-floor instruction, recruiting coordination, mentorship for our student athletes, and things of that nature. So I want to recognize Jermaine Jackson in the back and give him a hand. The other part of things are two other assistants who are on the road recruiting right now, which was a directive that I gave them to build towards our 17, 18, and 19 classes. Kanan Chapman and Pete Kaler both have been tremendous assets to our staff as well. These are two gentlemen that not only have done a remarkable job of connecting with our student athletes, but in their respective position groups. Kanan Chapman works with our wings, Pete Kaler works with our bigs, and these guys have not only done a tremendous job teaching the skills that are necessary for those guys to have success, but I'm now seeing our players come unsolicited to those guys for guidance, whether that's film study, trying to gain a greater understanding of what we do, et cetera, et cetera. There's two other staff members that are also present here in the back, our video analyst, Cal Rebow, and our graduate assistant, Colin Barth. These two young men are not only high-level grinders, but I don't think they wear watches, because these guys have been available around the clock to our players, not only as it relates to getting extra shots up in the gym, not only as it relates to study hall monitoring, not only as it relates to hiding in the bushes for class checks, not only as it relates to giving the guys video and paper playbooks. These guys are not only rising stars in our profession, but they are tireless workers and future graduates that will earn master's degrees here at Detroit Mercy. Let's give those guys a hand as well. In conclusion, as I recap the first 120 days that led up to day 167, there was a staged approach in 30-day modules that we wanted to identify whenever you're retooling a program. The first stage was the stabilization phase. You look at the roster, you look at all the things that are available to the program, and how can we salvage what we need to salvage. We came out of that phase going to our organization phase. What are the structures in place? How much study hall, how much individual skill development, things of that nature that needs to occur. We wanted to make sure we went to the plan to implement phase. How do we go about assigning duties throughout the program so that everybody had clarity on what their roles were as it related to the coaching staff, support staff, et cetera. And then now we're sitting squarely in the execution phase, which started, in that initial 30-day period, now, into the 167th day, where, as I met with the players on what we call Motivation Mondays, we had talked about doing the things that's required to earn minutes. And so as we get into practice 7 and beyond, leading up to a tremendous event on October 29th with our City Series partner, Wayne State, to benefit the Detroit Public Schools district, it's important for our players to understand now that everything that they do moving forward is going to be based on their reliability to earn those minutes. We're going to not only play fast and continue to hold on to what you enjoyed the previous year with regards to scoring the basketball, but we're also going to defend. We're going to be very, very gritty. We're going to chart 50-50 balls, deflections, contest shots. We'll change defenses. We'll do different things to keep our opponents off balance, and we'll use that approach not only to be disruptive, but to create not only home court advantages, but to give us a game that travels. The true mark of a team, and Bernard can tell you this, because correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Scott, you guys set a record in women's basketball for road wins in the Horizon League, correct? Yeah, exactly, here in Detroit. And so, success always leaves footprints. And my enthusiastic colleague over here who set that tone for those road victories understands that a lot of those things come when you do something well together, okay? And one of the things we want to do a really good job of together is play stingy defense. So make sure you get on down to Callahan Hall this year. I think you'll see not only an exciting brand of basketball, I think you'll see a passionate group of individuals, not only with their hearts set on rising to the top of the Horizon League, but being very competitive, as we close out the Joe in this last year moving forward. And understand that it's very important moving forward in our program that we all do this together. Dr. Garibaldi set the tone best. We're building a boundless future. I think that also relates to how many wins that we go after. I can't tell you how many we're going to win, but I'm going to tell you that we have no bounds on what we're trying to achieve. Thank you very much. Go Titans.
That concludes the formal press conference. We'll break down into one-on-ones now, go down the court. But one thing I can emphasize up here is you see the excitement that's going on between these two coaches, between our athletic director, Robert Vowles. We expect a great season here. I had a friend who told me over the summer he was bragging at his university that they won a championship. And he told me, PJ, there's nothing better than cutting down the nets. And I told him, I'm like, yes, there is. That's cutting down 2 nets on the same day in the hometown you play in. And right now, 2016-17, Detroit Mercy has a chance to do just that. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And like I said, we'll head down to the court for the formal one-on-one interviews.